Hi, this is Erica with Your Classroom Academy, and this week's strategy is layering learning. So when we're talking about layering learning in the context of note-taking, it just means that students have had the opportunity to write down new learning and have taken notes on something that you've taught them. And then they go back and revisit that new learning and add original thinking. So there's a couple different ways they can do that. So one of the ways is just simple marking the text strategies. So that would be underlining main ideas, circling key terms, and chunking the notes. So typical marking the text strategies, but they use those strategies on their notes, which is also text. Another way that I like to coach schools around layering onto their notes is to make connections with their notes they have to previous notes from the same unit. That could be making connections from that page of notes to any previous notes that they have from that same unit or any other learning that they have previously from that class or any other class that they have. Another layer to add to their notes is adding questions. So remember, the whole previous month was about learning the levels of inquiry and learning critical thinking skills. So if students want to add their own questions to their notes, this is a great way to teach them how to practice those inquiry skills. So giving them sentence stems that are content specific or just regular sentence stems that they can use to add questions to their notes. One thing to be mindful of is that they can't make connections, add questions if they don't understand their notes. So you want to make sure that you give them plenty of time to reread and process their notes, talk about their notes to a partner before you ask them to make connections and to add questions. You can have them layer onto their notes in the same class period that you have them take the notes. But again, I would have them talk about their notes and reread their notes before you have them add anything to their notes. Plus, every time you have them go back and revisit their notes, they have to reread them in order to write questions or make connections. So they are reviewing content and relearning content, which is great. So notes should not be about quantity, it's about the quality of their notes. So shorter notes are fine if you have them revisit them often and reread them because they're going to stick.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my Substack for more strategies, resources, tips, and tricks.